So I wanted to show you a really quick tutorial on how to do a shadow brush. You may be wondering what a shadow brush is. Let me show you. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our Procreate. We're going to create a new canvas and we're going to make sure that it's a square canvas. Okay. And we want to make sure that our background layer is white. So now I am going to take and pick a gray color. I am going to choose a really basic brush. It doesn't have to be anything special. So I'm going to use just my plain vector brush and I am going to draw a circle. Boom. If you hear any noise, that's me currently having a hurricane, but I'm okay. So I'm going to hit, this is not a very good circle. So there's ways to combat that problem. Make sure you have your move tool on freeform. And so I'm just going to move this around. All right, it's good enough to me, okay? So now I'm going to get out of my move tool and I want to fill this up. I want to fill this up with gray. And if you want the right gray color, just use your eyedropper. Then you're going to take your color and you're just going to drag it into the middle of that circle. So now you have one circle here. So I'm going to move this over here. And then what I'm going to do is go into my layers. I'm going to duplicate that layer. So now I'm going to hit the move tool so I can separate the two circles. And so there's two ways that you can fill this with color, change the color, because we need this to be black. So one way you can do it is hitting your adjustments tab, hitting underneath the hue, saturation, and brightness tab. We're going to hit layer, and then you can just go down to the brightness and turn it all the way down. So that's one way of doing it. Or you can go into your layer, you see it there, make sure you're on the right layer, select black, and then drag it in, and you have a black circle. So there's two ways of doing that. Okay, so now once you have your gray circle and your black circle, what we're going to do is we are going to duplicate both of these layers real quick. Because I like to have a little backup just in case I'm like, I really don't like the way this brush looks. I like to have two layers that are just sitting in the background, just chilling over there, just in case I need them for later. Okay, so we're just going to set those two aside. They're sitting there. Uncheck the boxes. We don't need them for this project. We do need them if we make a mistake in this project. So we're just going to leave them over there. So now we have our two layers here and we have our two layers here. So now I'm going to choose one of these layers. I think I'm going to take the gray here because what we want to do from this point is we want to take and kiss the two circles together. Make sure they're separate, but they're kissed. They're just together. So now we have our two circles kissed together. We are going to combine them together by pinching them. Now we are going to take our move tool and we're going to move this around. I'm going to keep it in the middle for right now. So now I'm going to go into my wrench tool, canvas, drawing guide. I'm going to turn it on and we have these squares here. So I'm going to edit this drawing guide because I want the squares to be a little bit bigger. I want it to be enough that it goes around the edge. So I'll show you what I mean. So we go to the grid size right here. And so I'm going to turn that up so that I have 4 boxes here. Just seems easier that way. So I have my 4 boxes and it's even, and you know that it's even because you can see where the lines are going. So there. So you're going to make sure you have it just where you need it. Hit done. Now we're going to hit the move tool and we're going to make sure that the kiss part of the circle is right in the middle. But I kind of feel like I want to have this bigger. So now if I'm in my move tool, I want to make sure I'm going to keep my circles uniform. So I'm going to hit uniform. Okay. Okay, so that keeps it so that when you're moving these anchors and making it bigger or smaller, it's not going to be warping your circles. So I'm going to hit this anchor because I want it to be a little bit bigger than this. Go like this. So now I'm going to move it so that the kiss is right where the lines are intersecting. So I want to put my circles right there, and that way you can tell around the edges that they're evenly placed in the middle of this square canvas. So once you have that going, what we're going to do is on our layer with the kissed circles, we're going to click on it. We are going to hit invert. It's going to change the color of the circles here. That's good. We're going to go to our background. We're going to turn it black. So now from there we have what we want our brush to look like. So now from there, we're going to hit this wrench tool. We're going to hit the share button, and we're going to export it as a JPEG, and we're going to save it in our camera files. So now here's the part where we go into our brush. So I want a calligraphy brush with the shadowing underneath it, so I don't have to draw the shadow every single time. So I'm going to go into my calligraphy brushes, which is the little A here. So I'm going to click on those, and it's going to give me all my calligraphy brushes. And so I am going to choose my script brush, and I'm going to duplicate that because I don't want to replace that brush because I still like that brush. I don't need to replace it. So I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to change it up a bit. Now we go into our shape, and we have this little fuzzy shape thing. This is not what we want. So we're going to hit edit. We're going to hit import, import a photo, import your last photo that you did with the two circles. Make sure that this circle is white and this circle is gray. This circle represents our brush and this circle represents the shadow. So we want to make sure that they're in the right places. Let's just say that it wasn't in the right place and you get the square outline. This is not what you want because you're not going to have the brush that you desire. So to get the brush that you desire, you want to make sure that this circle is white and this circle is gray, and all you have to do is tap. You tap on it and it inverts it. 2-finger tap and inverts it, and it makes it so that this circle is white and this circle is gray, and that's exactly what you want. So from this point, you want to make sure you hit the done button. So now you have this brush and you're like, oh, it looks okay, I guess. So to get the brush to look exactly right, we are going to go into our rendering. And in the rendering mode, you want to hit light glaze. So still, you have the shadowing. It's very, very faint, but you want to make it pop. It's still not the brush that you desire. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to hit the properties. So now we got these properties are a little out of whack. Okay, so I want the maximum size of my brush to be all the way up as far as it can go. You can have it max if you want to. And then you're going to do the minimum size. You're going to crank that up a little bit. Okay, so we're starting to get there. Still a little fuzzy. I don't like that fuzzy. So I'm going to turn my opacity all the way up, my maximum and my minimum. So I'm going to turn those all the way up. Okay, so now we're starting to get it there. I'm going to clear this drawing path so I can see. Ooh, I love it. This is exactly what I wanted. Not all brushes are going to have the settings that you want for your brush. So you just want to make sure that you mess around. Make sure you have your rendering. Make sure you have your rendering on light glaze. Make sure you have your properties with your minimum size, your maximum size, your opacity. Make sure they're turned all the way up. Make sure the minimum is turned almost down a little bit. It doesn't have to be all the way up. So you're starting to get, this is the brush that you want. So I'm going to hit done, and I have my little brush. If you want to go take it a step further, you can go and rename it. You rename it to shadow brush. So I'm going to put shadow brush. You can put your picture up there, your little logo. You can put your name in there. You can sign a whippity doo-dah. You can do whatever you want and say, you created this brush, because guess what? You created it. You used my tutorial to do it, but you created the brush. So you can hit done. So then I have it and it says shadow brush. I love it. So I'm gonna take it another step further. I have a go-to folder of all my go-to brushes these are the brushes that I want to get to really quick. I don't want to have to go and search for it. So I can take this brush that I created and I can drag it somewhere else. I can drag it. I always have trouble trying to get it into the folder that I need it to be in. And so sometimes it goes in there, sometimes it doesn't. So, but you can always find it. So it's actually went into the, you got to hit it just right. I don't know what that's all about. Put in the comment section below the easiest way to move these brushes around, because I found that they jump into different folders and I'm like, that's not the folder I put it in. Either it will go in the folder above it or below it, the one that I need. I don't know why it does that, but sometimes it does. And that's okay. So we have our shadow brush. Yay! So I'm going to clear this canvas up. So I'm just going to uncheck that box. And then I am going to create a new layer, change my background, change it to something really comfortable to work with. I like to have a little nice little, I gotta turn it on first. So I'm gonna change my background to something less scary and something really light and fuzzy. I'm gonna go into my wrench tool. I'm gonna go into the canvas. I'm going to turn off my drawing guide so I have a clear canvas to work with. I'm going to pick a nice cute color. I want to pick a color that you guys can actually see. And then I'm going to just play around with it. So I hope this tutorial was easy to follow. I hope this is a brush you'll be able to use in your day-to-day life. I hope it was fun to do and all that good jazz. So as usual, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.